Hey, what's happening? What's going on? It's Crypto Matt here. Just wanted to say, what a day, what a day. It has been in crypto land. So, we started out the morning super, super, super red. My entire portfolio was down pretty hefty. And then we started rounding around noon. I made some buys. I've been holding a couple different coins as well, some altcoins. And then we started on an uptrend. So I just kind of want to talk about what's going on, what happened today, what my thought processes are on my coins that I'm holding, and how we're going to be making money in the future, and learning from what happened today. So first off, a lot of people have been talking about futures. A lot of people talked about futures and like options trading for Bitcoins back in December, and that's when we saw the big price spike to begin with, up and towards like the $20,000 range for Bitcoin. We saw a lot of sudden growth. A lot of people wondering what was going to be happening, what could be happening. Was the price going to keep going up or fall down? And so today we kind of saw the first run of all of that. The CBOE options expired today. The first round of options expired on January 17th at 4 p.m. Exchange time, 3 p.m. my time. So that being said, there's a couple really interesting things that happened around 4 p.m. So all day we saw, and I mean, just honestly, the past week or so, we've seen just a dramatic decrease in um, prices in Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and altcoins, just prices across the board. I mean, our current market cap is just shy of 500 billion, as seen right here, and I mean we were 700 billion like 2 weeks ago. So I mean that's pretty intense. But there is some hope for cryptos, which is good. So what we learned today, me and my group here, we are the Crypto Beginners. We have a Discord, link below. Join that just to hear all this stuff real time and not have to watch the videos and all that jazz. But basically, once we discovered that the options were expiring today, we saw some other information just via tweets and like all this other stuff, just like any other crypto person does. And saw that right around 4 o'clock, the 200 moving average was going to hit for Bitcoin. I don't even think I don't have it up right now, but basically, Bitcoin, the price could hit the 200 moving average around 4 o'clock, and that happened to be when everything was expiring as well, as far as the contracts go. So it's made us all start wondering, like, okay, what's going to happen? Obviously, it's going to move one way or the other. It's either going to bust through this 200 moving average, or it's going to pop off it like any good, hopefully good chart does, right? So 4 o'clock comes around and we see this momentum going in the market. Everything turns green, as you can see here, and it's not doom and gloom anymore. But moving forward, as far as the like what's going to happen next, so basically the next round of options expires on the 26th of January, which is about a week away, next Friday, I believe. So that's kind of a long time for crypto, right? I mean, here we can even see like in 7 days, a lot of these coins were up. I mean, a lot more than they are right now. So day since all-time high, I mean, 13, 13, 4, 2, 10, 13, 12. Like crypto things bounce around really fast. Tron, 12 days since its all-time high. Now it's down 75% from the all-time high. Like things can happen. So a week is important to know. But I think it's going to be played out somewhat similarly to what we experienced today. So when all these options started, everybody thought Bitcoin was inflated in a bubble to begin with, right? So obviously all these big whales are going to come in and start shorting the crap out of Bitcoin. And they're going to put big shorts on it, and they're going to try and make as much money as they possibly can, which was seen perfectly illustrated today and the lead up to today for these first options expiring. Basically, what I mean by that is that they're short selling Bitcoin, so they say that they're gonna buy it at a certain price on a certain date just a very quick definition of an option contract. And they're going to buy it at a certain price on a certain date, and big people like manipulators, market manipulators are what they're called, will kind of push the price up or down in order to meet those options pricing, and so that they make money. So now that we have been pushed down, I think there's a possibility we're going to have to obviously play it by ear to see what the 26 looks like, but to push it down a little more. But then these market manipulators are going to start swinging it the other way, right? So you got to play it both sides. So you can't just run something into the ground forever, because you're not going to make money on that forever. So what they're going to start doing, like in order to play with the whales, you got to think like a whale, right? In order to make money, you got to think like the people who make money. So if it was me, what I would be doing is I'd be driving the price down after shorting it from an all-time high, right? And then once it's down, I'm obviously going to look to buy when it's far off an all-time high, so that I can ride it back up to another all-time high. Well, it's been 31 days, so about a month since Bitcoin was at an all-time high, 44% down. We still have 1 week to go to let it drop a little more until the short options expire. And then all these big players are going to start coming in, and then they're going to buy all these calls to be able to profit off of the next move of Bitcoin, which, in my opinion, is going to be a dramatic move up. This is kind of, we see this played in stocks. We haven't really seen it played in crypto yet, because this is the first round of options, right? But these whales are going to start playing it both ways. So we're going to have to learn how to figure out what the spreads are and all of that interesting stuff for options. So we'll probably start talking about just kind of like like I just said, we're going to have to start talking about that on this channel, just so we can get an idea of what Bitcoin price is going to be doing, because Bitcoin affects literally everything. Bitcoin dominance is 40% right now almost. Ethereum can move on its own. We've seen that last week, but all these alts basically are paired with Bitcoin on these exchanges still, so everything moves with Bitcoin. So it's going to be really interesting to learn how to play with these manipulators on these high buys and these basically how they're buying and how they're selling, right? So moving forward, what I'll be doing is, I've been loading up. I didn't really play it too much this past week. I just kind of let my portfolio ride, because I knew that once it started falling, I didn't want to I didn't know when it would bottom out, and I didn't want to miss my opportunity, so I just decided to hold through, which is fine, and I've been okay with it. Haven't made as much as I would like to, but I'm still doing all right, especially with today. I was able to buy a lot of altcoins right before this most recent pop. I bought ZRX, Wabi, and ICX. Made great profit on all of those, like 20% on each of them. So we're still making money. And when I take a step back and look at that compared to stocks, I just made what I would make in a year. So feeling good. Still a lot of hope for crypto, but we are going to have to learn how to kind of anticipate what's going to be happening, especially as the manipulation actually starts, just because we haven't experienced that yet. So I'd want to invite you all to join me in the process of learning just kind of what can happen with Bitcoin now, really watching it closely as these manipulations are taking place. We're pretty stable right now, around 10 to 11, hopefully. A lot of people think it could tap into the 8s. I'm not sure yet. Again, charting is only as good as the market says it is. So if the market doesn't like the way something is happening, it's just going to keep tanking, or it's going to keep going up, and charting becomes useless at that point. So you have to be able to learn how to feel it out. But yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see this price action of Bitcoin and how it's going to affect all these alts, especially on the 26th. I'm really anticipating the 26th of January as like a pivotal point in our crypto careers, essentially, and then to start seeing the swings. And then I think eventually, long term, we'll stop seeing as much manipulation, because there's going to be more people on both sides. It's going to equal out. It's going to find an equilibrium of puts and calls on these options that people are going to stop short selling and people are going to, or keep short selling and people are going to keep buying it, like expecting the price to go up. A lot more uncertainty will come in the future, which will help us have a more stable price. We probably won't see as big gains in Bitcoin at that point, but it will stabilize the price. But since it's also brand new, I think we can really anticipate kind of these big swings and play them to our advantage. So I'll be talking about that here on my YouTube and in my Discord. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, click the bell just to get notified when I'm posting stuff, and like this video, leave me a comment on what your thoughts are about the futures and the options of Bitcoin, and I'd love to read them and hear them and chat with you about it. And I hope you found this interesting, but there's hope. In the midst of all the red days, we will have a lot more green days. Just want to keep reiterating that, and that crypto is still the answer. So this is Matt signing out. Peace.